Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in with me tonight. This podcast is being recorded and going on YouTube as well, so with my webcam. So those of you that can see my camera, hello. And those of you just listening on the podcast, you can go check it out on YouTube if you want to watch and look at me, look at who I am, sort of put a face to the voice almost. Anyway, I think most of the people that watch this podcast sort of know who I am anyway. But if you're new, reach out, and if this is how you found out about me. Anyway, I'll get past this. So thank you for tuning in. This is the Balanced Life podcast. I couldn't think of a better name for it because I think it is about the balanced life, the life, in order to have true happiness or authentic happiness, or in order for that to be real, your happiness you have to have a balance in your life, obviously, and that's kind of the reason so basically I talk about not only health and fitness, but also the physical and the mental and emotional sides of your life, as the psychological things that we all deal with, and that's predominantly what my videos have been about so far. So tonight, however, I wanted to address the topic of health a little bit more, because I've talked about health and fitness, that's kind of been my thing for my whole life. But now I want to sort of bring that to the forefront because that's where most of my knowledge is at. So I want to bring that to the forefront of my YouTube channel and my podcast at the moment. Okay, so health and fitness. The general problem, in the United States of America is obesity. I think something like, I know it was over half. So I think 57 or 60 some percent of Americans are actually overweight. So their body mass index so basically it's relative to their height. And keep in mind, when someone means that I could go into the doctor right now and they would test my BMI and they would say that I'm overweight. But that's because most 6 feet tall, 18-year-old males aren't 175, 170 pounds, So I would be slightly overweight. It's basically just the average of everyone else, your age, weight, and height. So, there goes thank you. Sorry about that, technical difficulties, just lost the camera. All right, stay. Good girl. So, over half of Americans are overweight. So yeah, maybe some of them are muscled, but I feel like a majority of them are probably overweight in the wrong ways. So, something like 40% of Americans are obese. So of that 60%, 40% of Americans, okay, it's part of that 60%, but also 40% of America is obese. So that's insane. The amount of money it takes to treat someone with obesity it's absurd. It's one of the most expensive reasons for healthcare. I guess I don't know. It's one of the most expenses, that is paid for by health insurance. So it's a lot of money to treat, because it's gastric bypasses, it's those doctor's appointments, it's it's weekly checkups, it's like to treat someone with obesity is not an easy thing. And it's not just like, you can't just get the gastric bypass surgery and then you never have the desire to eat anymore and you lose the weight like that. That's not at all how the body works. So what gastric bypass surgery is supposed to do is it's supposed to clip off or seal off a certain portion of your stomach to permanently shrink your stomach. So you can't eat as much. And then so you're in a calorie deficit and you lose weight. The fact of the matter is, your stomach is an organ and it stretches out. The statistics show people who have gastric bypass surgery, they eventually get back to the same weight because their stomachs stretch. They continue to eat and eat and eat like they were before because they weren't addressing the root issues. They weren't addressing the issues of what's causing the eating. The eating is there. The eating is a drug. The food is, they're fixing something with the food. Whether that's, childhood trauma where this is a comfort food, so this makes them feel better when they eat like this or whatever. Basically, they're not fixing the root cause. They're fixing the after effect of what happened. And you can fix it. It's kind of like how modern medicine oftentimes only treats the symptoms. It doesn't actually fix it. That's A large stomach is a symptom of obesity, and just sealing it off doesn't do anything because you didn't fix the eating habit, so it's gonna stretch back out. Um, we could also get into a little bit of processed foods. The Western diet has gotten some flack from other countries lately, and rightfully so. When you walk into a supermarket, the food products that line the shelves up and down are not typically they're boxed, processed, sugary cereals, Oreos. They're very highly palatable, very delicious foods. And don't get me wrong, I want to eat all of them all the time, but they're meant to be that way. They're quite literally. I mean, if you look at like the chemical compound of a Dorito, for God's sake, that was engineered. That took like decades of scientific research and engineering to make that Dorito as addictive as possible. You can, like food, we can make it addictive. It's a drug. So this is why. Okay, so I'm a personal trainer. I train people. I have helped people lose a lot of weight or put on muscle, whatever the case. And they always come to me and they have this issue where they don't really know how much they're eating. So sometimes I'll tell, and okay, one of the first things I'll address is I'll try to be like, okay, what's your goal? Okay, you want to lose muscle or lose body fat, whatever. And then we would discuss, okay, do you know how much you're eating roughly? I ask them some questions, and if they tell me they don't know how much they're eating, I tell them, okay, record your food for 2 weeks. Don't change anything about your diet. Don't change anything about your diet. Just eat how you normally would eat, but record everything you eat so I know how many calories you're eating. And see, the point of that is, after about 2 weeks, their metabolism is probably adjusted to whatever amount of calories they're eating consistently. So if they're maintaining weight off their current calorie base, then we know, okay, here's a good baseline that we can go from. Now from here, we can either increase calories if we want to put on some muscle, or we can decrease calories if we want to lose some body fat. But when we know a base rate, then it's helpful. But a lot of times people aren't very accurate with their tracking. I've been tracking my food for like 6 years, and I still am not that accurate with it. It's not an easy thing to track your food very accurately. So sometimes if they say, oh, I don't want to track my food, that's too much of a pain in the ass, or if I think they have an unhealthy relationship with food as is, I'm going to tell them, okay, do this then. From this point on, and this is difficult for some people to do, but try and eat only single ingredient, whole, natural, from the earth foods. Single ingredient, whole, natural, organic, from the earth foods. Not processed shit, not shit that was made in the lab, not shit that took decades of research to make addictive. Real God-given food. And just that alone, just when people cut out processed foods from their diet, they eat substantially less. Think about it like this. You could have 5 whole russet potatoes. If I just cut them up with a knife, here's 5 potatoes, 5 whole potatoes. You could not finish those whole potatoes within an hour, probably, because it's 5 whole potatoes. It's a lot. It's a lot of volume. Now, if I gave you a bag of Lay's potato chips, you can finish that whole thing in 30 minutes and not even break a sweat. That's 5 potatoes. It's just 5 potatoes in a very different, much more addictive way. You see how they get you? And then keep in mind, every single processed, junk food item is manufactured this way. So they're all manufactured this way. So we are indoctrinated from the year that we first see colors when we go with our moms to the grocery store. Those food items are jumping out at us. And you grow up, and you eat those foods. You eat those foods when you're young, and you have certain feelings associated with those foods. And then you eat those foods later on in your life. And when you already have a chemical dependence on them, on the artificial sweeteners and the serotonin and the dopamine that it gives you, it's going to be that much harder to quit. I'll use myself as an example. When I was at my worst, I was probably about 230 pounds, and I was maybe 11 or 12 years old. I was obese. I guess I don't know what the standard for obesity is. Something like 40% body fat, but I was overweight either way, and I looked like shit. Anyone who knew me in that time can vouch for that. Um, so over the past, how old was I in 2015? I was like 11 or 12. Over the past, 6 years since then, I have been trying to break the eating habits and the food habits and the junk food cravings. I've been trying to break those from when I was a young child, like a toddler even. Um, and, because those bad eating habits were made at such a young age, it was so hard to break them. I've been trying to break them for 6 years, and I'm only finally now starting to break those eating habits. Like, I have no desire to ever eat fast food anymore. I haven't drank soda in like 4 or 5 years. I look forward. I don't like to go out to eat because I like cooking my own food. I find joy in it. Like, it makes me happy to get up at 2 in the morning and make a ribeye. But I'm changing. You see, I'm changing those habits, and over time, over years, I'm changing those behaviors, and I'm becoming a new person. A person that's almost unrecognizable from the person that was there in the first place. This is how you fix obesity. That's how you fix the fitness, the health problem that is the United States. That's how you fix it. It starts with something as simple as only whole foods, because I have no desire to eat any ice cream. I have no desire to eat any candy. I have no desire to eat any Lucky Charms. All of those things I used to just shove down my mouth hole like nonstop. And I could fit a lot of food in there. But over years and years, I changed that. And I sort of, without even realizing it, I was beating those addictions. And obviously, I never stopped trying to learn as much as I could about diet and the human body and nutrition and fitness and health. I never stopped trying to learn. I was constantly trying to learn more about it. And it paid off. It paid off because listening to what other people tell you to do and learning why you're doing something is such a huge difference. And it's like, holy shit. It's okay. It's like when you're in school and you're learning about a subject you don't care about, and then you get to a subject you do care about, and you start to research it on your own because you think it's so cool. And then you're also learning in class for me, it was a personal trainer. And then you're also researching on your own. It's like, holy shit, this is so awesome. The ability to, that's kind of how you need to be about anything in your life. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your habits, if you want to change your health, you don't have to change everything overnight. I'm talking about years of completely rewiring who you are as a person, in some cases. Going to the gym and bodybuilding and lifting weights didn't just teach me how to lift weights. It taught me so much, and it shaped a lot of who I am as a person. Just some words that come to mind: perseverance, motivation, determination. Those are all things that being able to persevere through pain and being able to recognizing that pain is growth. Lifting weights teaches you that pain is growth. And there's so much pain in every aspect of life. But lifting weights taught me that almost all pain is good pain. All pain can teach you something. So I encourage everyone to not just get out there and exercise. Get out and exercise, sure, yeah, do what you want to do. If you have an outdoor activity that you love doing and it helps you get exercise, who cares if it's not? It doesn't have to be biking or running or long distance sprinting, I don't know. But it can be whatever you want. Like, I like to go on hikes. That's fun. I love to play basketball. That's fun. Do what you love to do. But if you want to really change, to completely reshape your body, change who you are, if you want to reshape your body and not only reshape the externals of your body, but make the internals a lot better too, then you lift weights and you resistance train and you do your compound movements and you put on muscle and you get stronger. The human body was meant to be strong. And the way that it feels to be strong and to like the way you look, it gives you so much more power in the rest of your life, in every other aspect of your life. Like, you feel unstoppable. I wake up every morning, I shoot out of bed, I don't have an alarm because I love waking up in the morning. I wake up in the morning, I'll go have my caffeine or whatever, and I'll go to the gym or I'll go to work or I'll go whatever. I feel so good getting up and doing shit in the morning. Like, I hate wasting time. I hate feeling like I'm wasting time. And those are qualities that started things that I wanted to better about myself. All that stemmed from bettering my body through lifting weights. And through that, I was turned on to the idea of trying to improve myself in more ways than one. So if you haven't done it yet, or you haven't done it regularly, give it a shot. Pick it back up, give it a shot. Push through a little bit of pain, but don't push that pain barrier too far, because that's not, you want to make it so you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to stay consistent. Pick it up and, learn something, research, look it up, talk to me. I promise you, I would never steer you wrong. And just see what happens. I think there's a natural journey that guys like me go on when we're younger. We go on this journey of being part of every part of the industry. From the point that I was 8 or 9 years old, I was into bodybuilding. And there's a life cycle that we go through in the industry. And a lot of guys don't hit that life cycle until they're like in their 20s or 30s, how to do things properly and the real truth about fitness and health and supplements and everything. I was very lucky to learn that at a young age. Most guys my age are still doing body part splits. I train a full body split 3 to 4 days per week, and I get amazing results. I'm very lucky to know the infallible truth about fitness and health at such a young age, but that wasn't, and so that's the message I'm trying to spread. I'm trying to spread the truth about health and fitness, because I sifted through wasted years of shitty, useless information that never worked. I had the mass gainer shakes, I did the body part splits, I bought the programs, I did all that shit. I tried everything under the sun that I could get legally because I thought it would make me bigger. Newsflash, none of it does. Creatine and whey protein, that's it. That's what works. Everything else is a waste of money. I was sponsored by a supplement company, and I am telling you, everything else is a waste of money. That's what I wanted to come on here and say. This is sort of an introduction to, my fitness experience, my fitness expertise. And I'm going to get into more, let me know what you guys want to see next. I want to stay with a lot of health and fitness stuff while I'm on here too, and sort of make that one of my go-to things, because I know a lot about that, and that's the message that I want to spread. So let me know what topics you want me to talk about. Putting on muscle, losing body fat, general health and wellness, how to be truly healthy and not just look good. I'll talk about anything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know if you enjoyed, and snap me. No, don't snap me. Follow my Instagram at willwads, all one word, WILLWADS. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, comment something, or say something. Tell me if you liked it. Don't dislike it though. That's mean. Okay. Bye guys, and thank you so much.